Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new video, and this time I want to talk about new rules that have been launched for Age of Sigmar. These are called the Hidden Agendas, secondary objective in war games for in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So this was launched not during this week, I think, something like that, the 1st of October. Okay, and yeah, these are new rules, and they say here, I will just tell the following rules. Hidden agendas are intended to allow you to include this secondary objective into your games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar without disrupting the delicate balance of the battle plan that you are using. Using them will mean you have to strive to complete a hidden agenda while at the same time competing to meet the victory conditions of the battle plan you are using. So you have the battle plan, and on top you add these secondary objectives. You have 12 different where you can pick off, and yeah, they give some ideas for even for tournaments. So for example, I was reading this, or if you are planning to award 30 points for winning a major victory at the tournament you are running, you could say that the player must pick a different higher agenda at the start of each round and will receive 3 extra points for each hidden agenda they complete. So for each game you have to choose a different hidden agenda. Of course, this can be difficult to track sometimes. You have to find a way to track it to avoid the people is using always the same hidden agenda. So we can download them. I already did, and here we have the rules, right? So it just says that it gives you some ideas on, especially if you use what is called here. If you are using the hidden agenda rules after both armies has been set up, but before the battle begins, you must secretly pick one of them to apply to your army for that battle. You must record this, so you record that, and if you complete the hidden agenda, then you can roll in a triumph in the battle. If you do that, if not, depending on how. So this second part will depend on how the tournament is done and how you want to play. So it's something additional you can add, and you can also align with your friend. Of course, for pickup games, I don't think this is going to be very important on pickup games to do the hidden agenda unless you want to practice and you want to see if you have the second victory objective victory. Also says that a starting army is the army that you have at the start of the game, including the reserve, but anything that you create during the game is not part of the starting army, even if you have bring back a unit that was destroyed. So the second time the unit is coming is not considered part of the starting army. And here we have all the different hidden agendas. There are some I consider, we can go through them a little bit. So the first one is the secret mission. You can complete this hidden agenda in any battle shock phase if a friendly hero is wholly within 1 inch of the edge of the battlefield and more than 12 of the from friendly territory. You can remove the hero from play and to immediately complete this hidden agenda. This can be quite easily for some armies, I think. You complete this hidden agenda if any friendly heroes with an artifact of power are on the battlefield at the end of the battle. And you immediately complete this hidden agenda if an enemy unit is destroyed as a result of a failing battle shock. This can be quite tricky one. Hidden agenda invade. You complete this hidden agenda if a friendly unit with 3 or more is wholly within opponent's territory at the end of the battle. 3 or more models. So this is not so difficult. You complete, then we have Cs. You complete this hidden agenda if you control more objectives than your opponent at the start of the battle, and says if this hidden agenda cannot be completed if they are not objective, what makes sense. Defend. You complete the hidden agenda if there are no enemy units wholly within your territory at the end of the battle. Slay. You complete this hidden agenda if the hero with the highest points value from your opponents starting army has been slain at the end of the battle. If 2 or more are eligible, then you slay any of them. So you can slay. You don't need to choose even. You just have to. If there are 2, it's enough by killing 1. Imagine that the enemy have 2 or 3 heroes with 100 points, but just killing 1 is enough. You complete. Then we have conserve. You complete this hidden agenda if at least 1/3 of the units from your starting army rounding up have not been destroyed and are on the battlefield at the end of the battle. So you have to survive with at least 1/3. And attrition, you have to kill 2/3 of the enemy. So it's the same, but rounding up. Okay. Line breaker, you complete this hidden agenda if all the battle line units from your opponent's starting army have been destroyed at the end of the battle, and at least 1 friendly battle line unit is on the battlefield at the end. So you have to kill all the enemy battle lines, and you have to survive with 1. You complete this hidden agenda as a center ground. You complete this hidden agenda, you control the objective closest to the center of the battlefield at the end of the battle. If more than 1 objective is eligible, control at least half of them. Count heroes as 10 models, and this is quite interesting. 10 models when determining control of an objective for this hiding agenda. And then the last one, sacrifice. You complete the hiding agenda immediately if the hero with the highest points value from your starting army, and that is not your general, is slain by an attack made by an enemy hero or monster. That can be quite tricky, this one, because you depend on the opponent. So these are the different hiding agendas, and I think it gives a nice twist to the game. So I really would like to test them in the future. I think give a nice twist, although I find some can be quite easily to do and some others quite difficult. So I don't know. This one, the second mission, if you have a Stormcast Eternals and you use the special deployment, you can have a 100 points hero that you just send out of the battle. The problem is that you're losing this hero, so if this hero is key for you, you will not have this advantage during the battle later. So it's a little bit looks easier than maybe maybe other armies can do easier use of that one. Just have a hero of 80 points that you can send out of the battlefield. But you can see there are different ones, also this one. So some looks much easier than others, but it's just a matter to start testing them and playing with them and see how they work. But I think it's a nice twist, and I really like what I see here. So I like the idea. I like secondary object, this type of hiding secondary objective. I think add a little bit of drama. Not sure how this will work on tournaments, but yeah, I always like, say in 40k, I like a lot the milestone missions because are giving different objective. This is not random, but it's also giving this type of hidden agenda that looks interesting. So really interested to see how this is played on Age of Sigmar. Looking forward to use them if I have the opportunity when I play with some of the people here. And yeah, and very interesting to see if how this is incorporated to tournaments and how much points this secondary objective can give. Interesting also that they have made this as a hiding objectives. So yeah, quite interesting. And the advantage is that you can choose, and the other thing looks quite interesting is that you are choosing what is the objective you want to play. So you can also make your army to guarantee that you are going to make the secondary objectives quite easily. Some of them can be more difficult, but I think some of them you depend from your opponent. So of course, there is another point that is interesting. You decide that once you know the enemy's army. So it's another point on the strategy to think about. The best you know your army, and the best you know your opponent's army, the best choose you will do of the hiding agenda objective. So let me know, what do you think? So far I think it's a positive change. I like that this at this moment is for free. I guess they want to test that, see if this is working, and if this is working, I guess we are going to see official card deck from Games Workshop soon. Yeah, I think it's the right way to do it. No, you make this like PDF for free, and if at the end the people like that, then you create the deck to play the hidden agenda. And that's all what I want. Just share with you these hidden agenda missions, and I hope you like that. And yeah, looking forward to see your opinions. And that's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.